Many reasons can stop people from making money. But what if you could transform your financial life dramatically for the better? If you are curious about a book that delves into the behavioral aspects of money management, you are in the right place. The core idea of the book is that doing well with money has nothing to do with intelligence and much more to do with your behavior. Once you understand these behavioral aspects and start implementing the key principles, then the money game can completely flip in your favor. Whether you're watching now or you prefer to listen later while driving, exercising, or walking, this is something that you don't want to miss. Stay tuned. Join me as I dive into the powerful lessons from the book Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. But first, why did I choose this book? Human behavior fascinates me, and I love how the author explains that our psychology can greatly influence our financial decisions both positively and negatively. Through compelling stories, the author shows how money management has nothing to do with how smart you are, but more to do with how you behave with it. Make sure you stick around to learn the actionable insights from this book, which has sold over 3 million copies. Now let's look at the topics to be covered over this episode. The agenda is as follows. Number 1, we all view and think about money differently. Number 2, freedom. Number 3, compounding. Number 4, never enough. Number 5, getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. And number 6, actionable insights. Let's dive into the lessons that I learned from these topics. Number 1, first, we all view and think differently about money. People from different generations, raised by different parents with different incomes and values in different parts of the world, born into different economies and experiencing different job market and luck, learn very different lessons. Take the US stock market for example. If you were born in 1950, the S&P 500 went nowhere in your teens and 20s, but by 1970s, it grew almost tenfold. So two groups born in different years have a completely different view of the stock market. In the same way, a person who has grown up poor thinks about money, risk and reward very differently than a wealthy banker's child. Your personal experiences with money maybe makes up 0.00001% of what's happened in the world, but maybe 80% of how you think the world works. Now that we understand that everyone behaves differently with money, let's move on to the next lesson. Number 2, freedom. Controlling your time is the highest dividend that money pays. True happiness comes from having control over your life, making your own decisions, and living on your own terms. While money is important, beyond a certain point, it doesn't guarantee more happiness. Sacrificing your freedom to make more money can make you more miserable. We often use our wealth to buy more, but remember that this can lead to you losing control over your time. Since controlling your time is crucial for happiness, it's no surprise that despite being wealthier, many people don't feel much happier. Remember that money gives you the freedom to decide who not to spend time with. Now let us shift gears to broaden our perspective by moving on to compounding. Did you know that Warren Buffett, with a net worth of $84 billion, earned a staggering $81 billion of it after turning 65? This tells us that his skill is investing, but his secret is time. Our minds are better in understanding linear growth rather than on exponential growth. That is why most people do not wait long enough for money to compound. You might think the key to getting rich is achieving highest returns, but it's actually about earning good, consistent returns over a long period of time. That is when the magic of compounding works in your favor. In just 2 minutes from now, I'll be sharing actionable insights from this book that can be applied in our lives. Stay tuned. Now let us turn our attention to enough. Greed is a powerful emotion that influences many of our financial decisions. We often don't know when enough is enough. Many people ruin their happy lives just to earn more, claiming that it's for their families. Rajat Gupta, born in Kolkata and orphaned as a teenager, became the CEO of McKinsey by his mid-40s. By 2008, he was worth $100 million, but he wanted to become a billionaire. While on the board of Goldman Sachs, he shared insider information with his partner Rajaratnam. Both went to prison for insider trading, thus ruining their careers and reputations. They had everything: power, prestige, fame, freedom, but lost it all because they didn't know when to stop. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. There is no reason for you to risk what you have and what you need to what you don't have and don't need. One of the biggest reasons for moving the goalpost is social comparison. Moving from here, let's understand the man in the car paradox. People rarely think somebody is cool if they see them driving a nice car. Instead, people imagine how cool other people would think they are if they had that car. This is a paradox because others would have the same thoughts and not consider you cool and bring admiration and respect for you. If respect and admiration are your goal, be careful how you seek it. Empathy, humility, and kindness will bring more respect than horsepower ever will. Before we move further, stay until the end for a bonus tip from this episode. Now let us shift to getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. Many sportsmen, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and pop stars became wealthy because of their expertise, but lost most of it or all of it because of poor financial decisions. The author talks about an interesting story about Ronald Reed. Ronald Reed worked at a gas station and later swept floors at JCPenney. He bought a house for $12,000 when he was 38 and lived till the end of his life. He ended up with a net worth of $8 million. How did this happen? Ronald learned to save, invest, and stay wealthy. There are many ways to get wealthy and many books on how to do it. But staying wealthy requires a mix of frugality and paranoia. Getting money and keeping money are two different skills. What is wealth? Wealth is what you don't see. The cars not purchased, the cash not spent, etc. Remember, avoiding ruin at any cost is much more important than seeking maximum returns. Now let's segue from here to the actionable insights. Number 1. Less ego, more wealth. Save money by not buying unnecessary things today to have more options in the future. Extend your time horizon. To do better as an investor, think and invest over long term. Gain control over your time. Use money to have the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want. Be nice and humble. People respect kindness and humility more than flashy possessions. Just save. Save money regularly without needing a specific reason. Define what enough means for you. Living below your means brings freedom that constant lifestyle upgrades can't offer. Now let us move to the bonus tip which I was referring to earlier. Before buying anything, ask yourself the 4 following questions. Do I really need this? Can I live without it? Am I buying it because everyone else is? Will it save me money or time in the long run? Based on your suggestions from our community poll, today I've shared the insights from the book, The Psychology of Money. Look forward to upcoming videos on books like Atomic Habits, How Not to Die, and much more. I believe we all can learn and grow by exchanging thoughts. I look forward to reading your comments about the learnings from this book. If you found this episode valuable, please click on the notification button to be notified of future videos. We'll connect again soon. This is Kishore signing off.